Well, guys, it's West Indies and India, and it's that time of year where we all stay up like we are doing right now for you to bring you a morning show where you guys might be doing a lot of funny things in the morning. But look, funny things is going on in Dominica. We'll talk about why Test cricket is boring, but actually not that much, why it's another India win, and lots more in this Calypso confrontation. Wait, let me get it right. The Calypso cricket confrontation. Let's start the show. Right, I don't know if you like that sting or not, but look, we're working and we're working pretty hard, especially late at night. Anirudh Suresh joining me here, and of course, Gurkirat, and not to forget next. But before I come to the boys, we have to start with a stat. I have to talk about Ashwin, right? 2013 November, he was the last Indian bowler to dismiss Shiv Narayan Chandrapal, LBW mind you, and then 2023 July, pretty much almost 10 years later, Ashwin becomes the first Indian bowler to dismiss his son, Shiv Narayan's son, that is Shiv Narayan Chandrapal, bowling him earlier today. Now, funnily enough, that is made us think more about this stat because the bowlers dismissed father and son duo on tests. Well, Sir Ian Botham did it, getting Lance Gaines and Chris Gaines up. Wasim Akram did it, getting Lance Gaines and Chris Gaines up. Mitch Stark has done it, getting Chandrapal and, of course, the dual Chandrapal out. And not to forget Simon Harmer, who did it with the same two as well. And not to forget Ashwin as well. So, boys, lots to talk about. And that's where we can jump into the experts' corner. Please. Right, so I want to ask all you guys some pertinent points. First and foremost, how are you?
Yeah, I mean, it was a very entertaining day of Test cricket. So
Some good day to
I'm
do a
so
live
pumped
vlog.
up. Yeah,
Some good day to do a live vlog. I mean,
yeah.
this is the most boring match you've ever thought of. Be honest.
I'm really trying to think, but I'm not able to think right now. But on top of my head, I think this is simply one of the most cricket I've watched in recent times, especially because at least in the last 5 6 years, the crickets have been really spicy. So even in 2019, if you remember, Wesley Singapore bowlers were actually on fire. Kemar Rose was on fire. I think he kind of won Pujara in that series. So we were under pressure before Bihari and Rahman kind of bowled them out. But it was like, I mean, after what Chandrapal and Gatway did up front, I was at least hopeful that this would score a 250, 300 and then we'll see some kind of a fight. But, once Ashwin took that first wicket, they just thought that, okay, fine, this is not for us. We'll just leave it and finish the match off in 3 days and they have to just, so it looked like that. So,
In fact, when they won the toss, I was thinking that maybe they can actually pose a threat here. But then I looked at that pitch, Gurkirat, and this is where you come in and make your rant clear, right? Were they playing in Dominica, beautiful Dominica, more on that later, or were they playing in Indore or Firozshah Kotla? Because you were texting me furious. Talk to me, my friend. Let it vent it out, honestly.
Yeah, so if you just looked at the scorecard, 64.3 overs bowled by India, 38.3 out of them bowled by Jadeja and Ashwin with 8 wickets between them. If you just saw the scorecard and you saw West Indies getting all out for 150 with Ashwin taking a 5 you would have probably thought that, they're playing in India with India making a pitch to their advantage. But no, that wasn't the case. And I was very surprised. I know Dominica has been one ground where spinners have had assistance, but when you have 4 good seamers for the conditions in Alzari, Roach, Holder, and Shannon Gabriel, and the opposition has Ashwin and Jadeja and Akshar waiting in the wings, why would you just make this kind of a pitch? So, yeah, I was slightly disappointed because this kind of pitch, I like from the bowling front, India don't gain anything out of it because you just give the ball to Ashwin Jadeja, they do their job. Because as an Indian fan, what I wanted to see was that how does Unadkat fare here, or how does Shardul bowl here? Because I think it's the first time he's bowling. He's playing a Test match in West Indies. Even Siraj for that matter. That how do they bowl? And in the first hour, I felt
Surely they missed a trick here, right? Why did the West Indian cricket board or the management or the groundsman or whoever it was to take that pitch call have a little inch to it? Because they have Roach, they have Joseph, like you mentioned. Why are they doing this?
I have no idea, but I was just saying that in the first spell, I felt that the Indian pacers were slightly on the shorter side. They could have been fuller, which is something that we saw with them, especially with Shami, not with Siraj, that they were not bowling full enough. So maybe if it was a pitch which had a tinge of green or had a little more pace, we could have really seen that how they adjust to it. But given this pitch was more of a nature of the ones that you find in subcontinent, the whole task for the Indian team became much easier than what they would have anticipated.
I'll just get your thoughts about Ashwin and Jadeja because he spoke about it, but I just want to ask Nix about the picture. Nix, I mean, when you were watching it, was it inevitable for Ashwin to be in the first change really? 7 overs in, I think Ashwin was throwing the ball in after the seamers just opened up. That made us think that it's going to be another, 2.5 day test match.
Yeah, I think the answer is right there on Anuru's t-shirt. It says certainties in life, and that is death, taxes, and Ashwin taking wickets when you want him to. So it was always going to happen. Ashwin has had decent numbers as well versus Brathwaite. Not to say that they're going to go after matchup, but with the kind of bowling that they had, and we saw what happened in the first half, it was pretty plain obvious that there was going to be turn because the pitch looks such that it would assist turn. So it was a no-brainer move to then get Ash into the attack, and yeah, I mean, you wish you had him in other games as well away from home, but you can't change much about it. So yeah,
It's insane, guys. It's driving me up like a wall because we didn't play him in the WTC final, which is shocking by itself. He's gone on to breach another milestone, so many already, and there's a great way you can check it out on cricket.com. He was right in the live blog, 700 international wickets, brilliant. Another 5 for 60 today.
Yeah.
I mean, we're blessed as Indian cricket fans to have Ashwin and Jadeja, right? Once they go, who are we looking at? Who are we looking at? What are the options?
We can probably dive into that
Article.
in depth later, but yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of Ashwin and Jadeja. They just make these games look like regulation wins when it really shouldn't be the case at all. It is hardly the case for most other countries. Even if you look at what's happened when West Indies have played at home in the last 18 months or 2 years, Pakistan have drawn here, Sri Lanka have drawn here, England have lost here, and they've lost a 3 Test match series, not just a 1 or 2 Test match series. They lost a 3 Test match series 1-0. It was just a year ago before Macron took over. So, I mean, West Indies is usually, at least in the last 3-4 years, it's a tricky place for opposition to visit.
True.
And yeah, I mean, coming to the pitch, I think it may be maybe just the nature of the soil and all that. Maybe Dominica cannot produce green seamers like some other wickets.
And
in the country
historically,
can do.
too, I think it was 87 wickets to the spinners to 80 to the pacers, so not much.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the more spin-friendly wickets in West Indies, I guess. But yeah, that being said, the mere fact that India lost the toss and they did not start well, and West Indies were like 30 for 0, and after that, Ashwin casually took the ball and he's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing? I'll just bowl them out for 150," and then he and Jadeja did it. Like, I mean, that's just the beauty of Ashwin and Jadeja, and like we almost take them for granted because of how good they are. And even at home and even in these so-called like in these small matches or like
They're just
very
bullies,
convincing
bro. They're
matches.
just bullies. Honestly, it's crazy. I mean, let's just put out that graphic if we can in terms of the spin choices that we have in our bank, the Indian cricket ocean, right? Nix and Gurkirat. Who are we looking at? Because Jadeja, Ashwin, yes, they're brilliant with the ball. We talk about bowling partnerships, but they're critical with the bat as well. Are we going to see spinners like them again? Gurkirat, Nix?
Won't be easy for sure, and whosoever comes in will probably need some time to develop into the kind of players that Ashwin and Jadeja have become. Because see, Jadeja wasn't someone who came in straight away and then started winning you games. His development took some time, and you'll have to, whosoever comes in, you'll have to give them that bit of time. Jadeja, the batter, was completely different before 2018 and then after 2018. So the key would be to identify raw talent and then try and back that player. Someone like, we already have Akshar who's there. There's Kuldeep. I do feel that Washington Sundar is a good prospect, but what worries me about him is his injuries and fitness, because uh, we've seen him bat in Australia, we've seen him bat in Turners or India, and in India, and it has looked like that he has some time on his hand to play those shots, go on the back foot, and he also leaves well. Bowling wise, also I felt that even in limited overs, he was becoming a better bowler and not just who was darting, which is something that he used to do in the first 2 years of his career when he came on the scene in 2017. So he's improved. It's just that he's just been too unfortunate with injuries. He's just had way too many injuries in the last 2 years. So hopefully, he improves from that, and then maybe we can see, how he can develop. But someone like Shams Mulani has also been very consistent in the domestic circuit. If I'm not wrong, I think he had. Not the last season, but the previous season of Ranji Trophy. I think he had some. I think he was the highest high. I think he was the highest wicket taker. I'm not sure of his
There's some
numbers, but
really good things in that list with regards to the type of spinner that they are. And of course, you look at Ashwin being the off spinner. Next, can you put a finger on anyone who can immediately fill that void or can be molded at least to be half of what they've achieved for India?
See, firstly, I don't think it's going to be easy, and it should not be. You can't just replace a guy with 700 international wickets just out of your system as well. And to be honest, to both of them as well, and very credit to both of them. You saw what they did today. It was a lot of skill. The ball that got Tagner out, it was the widest that Ashwin had bowled of all that he had so far. Jadeja got one to bounce more on Joshua De Silva to get him caught behind. So these are skills that come with experience and time. In a parallel world, maybe you had Jalak Saxena pairing with Ashwin, learning the tricks from him, and then being part of the setup, and then maybe having just a year as for India, and then you pass it on to say a Sundar, or maybe you have a Saurabh Kumar in the squad, and you make him learn the tricks with while you have Jadeja and Aksar in the system. So I think that change has to maybe happen in the coming time. We discussed this in one of the previous videos as well, that probably post the World Cup is when you'll start seeing these replacements coming in, because there are names, but these are calls that will have to be taken. Because remember, when Ashwin and Jadeja came in, there was a lot of talk about why are they, where are they, and how are they going to fit into your scheme. So it will not be easy, and hopefully we see right players being taken up, and then I don't think you will expect them to be all rounders. I think the first job will be to hone their primary skill, which is off spin, and you take wickets from there. If they turn out to be good batters, then that's a bonus.
yeah.
It is a
But
bonus.
as I say this, you can never kind of predict where the next great player is
Yeah.
going to come from, who the next great player will be. So, as much as we like to say that, okay, who is next in line, who's that, maybe that kid is still in school. We don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
people pop out of nowhere. Someone could just magically start with a new level. They could just burst into the scene. You never know. So these kind of talks that, oh, how can we replace them? Who is the next? Who is the next? It's like these things just happen. Whenever there is one great player, will always be succeeded by another great player. Like people thought that you never see a tennis player like Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. But what Carlos Alcaraz is doing at 20 years old is like
It's
crazy,
ridiculous.
absolutely crazy. So when we talk, it's just like all these doom and gloom talks, right? It's too premature because in a country like India where there are like billions of players, I'm sure like one or the other will pop up and succeed, eventually take the match over and just keep the light going because it happens. It happens.
It happens, and like you mentioned, India is just a great country. Historically, we've always had great spinners, right from the 70s to, of course, Kumble, Harbhajan, and now Ashwin and Jadeja. So the man can really go forward. The spin chat can, of course, subside for right now, but if you guys want to check out one of our cricket.com articles, our colleague, I should say, Hardik Bora, did put it out earlier this week. So fantastic read, and that'll give you more insight. Right, we have to finish up expert corners with one more big hot talking point in day one, and that is India's top three. It's looking intent filled because, of course, there were two debutants who stole in, Jaiswal and Kishan. Kishan we'll probably talk about in due course, but I want to talk about Jaiswal and the intent. The first ball, he tried to hook it. The last over, he's reverse sweeping it. Tells you a lot about the boy, Anirudh. You kick this discussion off, and then I can get into that.
Yeah, I mean, it took a while for him to get off the mark. I think almost 15 balls, but the moment he got that uppercut away, it was not an uppercut, it was more like a cut rather. But he felt right at home and no fear shown whatsoever. Like I said, he
Brilliant.
almost gloved the first ball to the keeper trying to pull slash hook it. So that tells you how fearless he is, and probably he does not have a fear of failure right now. That okay, if I play this shot, the management will blast me or whatever. I don't think he has that going on in his mind right now, which is a breath of fresh air because the
Huge.
biggest problem we've been having is that players kind of lose their self identity when they come into the national team. They become a version of themselves that did not exist in the domestic team. But it's just lovely to see Jaiswal play the way he's been playing. But I do think that you know, probably at times the adrenaline took over. Like he played a couple of shots against Cornwall, which I
But
think
you expect that
yeah,
for a
yeah, it
youngster.
happens. He's 19 or 20 and he's
For sure. And
playing
I
so
just
bad.
feel like Jaiswal eventually will get where he has to get there. And it's brilliant to see that there's a left-hander opening for India again in Test. Next, what pleased you about Jaiswal? Because we always saw it coming. We've done multiple watch-alongs where we saw him score the fastest IPL 50, the 100 that he got. But Test match cricket's a different kettle of fish. And he's seemingly passing with flying colours, 14 not out in D1.
Yeah, I mean, just to say how Anirudh said, he scored a 15, 13 balls in the IPL, and then he took 15 balls to score his first run in Test cricket. So sometimes it's just about having that clarity and also picking the player at the right point of time. Now, this has been a phase where he has been scoring runs, and it's a better place to pick a player and make him the debut. Sometimes you end up picking a player who's not had the form to his side because Jaiswal is coming into this system on the back of a lot of runs. You can see that assurity in the way that he's playing pace and spin. Anirudh also touched upon the few airy fairy shots that he tried against Cornwall, but the very next over he was back to not trying them. So that also tells you that it is a thinking head, and it's not just going that okay, I have the freedom. People will not tell me if I play shot, but it doesn't mean that I'm reckless. So that is a very good sign for me that he tried it in 1 over. It did not come off. So he went back and then got himself in that okay, maybe it's not worth trying it now. And that tells you a lot about how he wants to score big. And I mean, he's done that he did that in the Ranji Trophy semi-final as well, where he got twin tons. So he is somebody who wants to score big, and India will want somebody like that right up top. And of course, the left-hander will always help. So as of now, I'm not wanting to put markers on him. Loving the clarity and the assuredness at the crease. And of course, this is I won't say an easier test. Kemar Roach in West Indies is never easy. So plenty of tests to follow, but so far so good.
And he's learning on the go. Basically,
Yeah.
he's learning on the go, debuting at like 20 years old. And to be honest, if we are expecting, we as fans are expecting a 20-year-old to be a finished product and expecting him to be completely mature, and it's us who are at fault, it's us who are delusional. So he needs at least 20, 25 test matches to kind of, gain all the experience and just learn on the go and put everything to practice. So as long as there are positive signs, that's all that matters for the time being. And I thought even in the 70 odd balls he faced today, there were like a lot of positive signs.
Yeah.
And this, by the way, the ball did turn a lot. It's not like a flat track at
He
all.
did turn a lot. New bowlers. He hasn't faced them. Alien conditions as well. Looking at just come in here, looking at the larger picture, right? We've always known Rohit in the last 4 or 5 years is a test batter and shown intent. Let's make no mistake. Now you give him someone like Yashasvi Jaiswal, that's brilliant. Then you look at, of course, Pujara not being there and Gill walking in one down is brilliant. So is that like an intent-filled top three for India and Test going forward? And how exciting is it? Let's be honest.
I actually have a different view to what everyone has over here. I would have rather liked Shubman Gill to bat at number 5 than at number 3, because I still feel that at number 3, if an early wicket falls, he could be exposed to the movement, and that is the same weakness that has troubled him as an opener, with the ball coming in and his feet going nowhere. So on pitches like these, where there isn't, or when you've gotten a good start and when the movement has died down, yes, someone like him coming in at number 3 could really make sure that the runs keep ticking and there is no breathing space for the bowlers or the opposition. But if an early wicket falls, I don't know. I still have my doubts. But yes, on the intent front,
used to now opening the batting, blunting the new ball anyway, so he's kind of been exposed to the international arena, right?
Yeah, but he was not able to blunt the new ball as well as he would have liked. There's a reason why India have now looked at him as a number three, and uh, his shortcomings as an opener were there to be
Yeah,
seen.
but just sorry to add, it's not India who are looking at him. Gill is probably said to the
Yeah,
management that I want to bat at three. So
yeah,
again, it also works both ways in terms of credit to the management as well, that they've been happy to give him that spot. That okay, they feel that Gill wants to bat at three. Let's see. Now I don't know how many games he'll get there, but hopefully it will be a substantial number because it is a tricky spot to ace.
And
So
generally,
yeah.
generally, I feel that spot in Test cricket, you've seen, of course, greats of it. Ponting, Dravid come to mind, of course, and Pujara right now. I mean, essentially, do you have to kind of be a certain type of guy who bats in that way to just be more defensive, be circumspect earlier, and then play a shot, or is it not that easy?
I mean, not you need to have both skills for definitely if you're batting at number three because uh, the world probably in the last couple of years the two most number threes have been like Root and Labuschagne. And I mean Root has moved to number four since, but he's played a lot at number three as well. And if you look at both guys when they are at their best, they can be 0 or 40 balls as well. But again, they can also be 40 or 42 balls or accelerate from there. So both skills are absolutely mandatory to succeed at number three. But I also see the point Gurpreet is making because you look at what England are doing with Harry Brook, for example. They tried him one innings at number three, but then they were once he failed there, they were like, okay, we much rather sacrifice someone like Moeen with a low value wicket, expose him to the new ball, let him get out there, and if at number five, Brook can just go and express himself and absolutely murder the opposition because again he's not gonna face a lot of team movement or anything and the odds will be in his favor at number five.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I
maybe
don't
you
disagree
can do
with you
that
there.
with Gill.
I just think let's see because look, lots to talk about on day two because when Shubman Gill actually comes out of bat, all you guys will be either quiet, the Gill will be quiet and the other Gill. We'll leave that there. Let's move on to the next segment, guys, because look, producer has the final say, and it is of course this social chatter segment called What's Trending in. Right, what's trending in India? We're basically asking the boys and you guys to decipher a few questions. And what caught our eyes, of course, cricket in Dominica is happening after 5 years. And the last time India
six.
played,
I think 6 years.
6 years, beg your pardon. And then what, 12 years since the last time India played there. So it begs the question, is it the most stunning cricket ground that we've seen? Because we saw some great pictures on social media, boys. And I'm thinking to myself, Dominica, Gaul, Sri Lanka, Bay Oval, New Zealand.
Look, I don't know if
For,
you've been
for me, it has to be.
I didn't
For me,
see.
for me, it has to be Newlands, Cape Town.
Okay.
Nothing to beat that. I mean,
I mean,
nothing.
yeah, Aminish was taking
I'm not joking.
dig at the number of spectators who were there at the stadium. So I thought he was going there, but in terms of the view, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely stunning for sure. But again, I would have loved for the atmosphere to be more lively. I mean, it was like literally that we were joking like there were less than a dozen people out there.
More yesteryear kind of Caribbean vibes if that was the case. Funnily enough, Nix, I don't know if you saw that when Shardul Thakur caught the catch with Jason Holder, right? He looked behind thinking there was so many people. And I was like, Shardul, who are you looking at? Just made me look at the sea behind that, which is more beautiful.
I might have genuinely seen a bigger crowd in like COVID restricted matches in England.
Let's not be
than
unfair to
what
the
was-
population of Dominica. Okay, quickly from you, beautiful cricket ground.
I would go Dharamshala.
Dharamshala, okay, love it. Gurki, let's go on Tabletown, Newlands, of course. That beautiful mountain. Next, what about you?
I'll go with Gaul.
Okay,
Very good.
love it. I mean,
Yep.
that much more behind is beautiful. Just for a difference, I'm going Southern Hemisphere, I'm going New Zealand because there's that one picture of the flight taking off so close to the stadium. It's so beautiful. But let us know in the comments below while you guys are eating your breakfast, wherever, or listening to this all the way to office. Our final segment is a quiz for the boys, especially Nix and Gurkirat, and it is, of course, who am I? Right. So in Who Am I, we basically ask the viewers and of course Cookie at the next because look, let's be fair, we all work in the same office, so they know the answers, and I did the drill with them. But this is basically giving you guys clues about three players, all India or West Indies, who played Test cricket. Okay, so that's your larger clue. So player number one, guys. Let's have the graphic on the screen, producer, and this is your clues, gentlemen. I made my test debut against India. I currently live with my three sons in New York and I played for the USA. Who are we talking about? Is it someone that you guys have seen? Definitely. Was Gurkirat born when this player was there? Definitely. Was Did West Indies win a test when this guy was still around? Definitely. So there's six clues I've given you. Let us know in the comments below. Before we get to the second player, Nix and Gurkirat, you guys are thinking and scratching your head at 3:30 in the morning, but any guesses?
Trying to think, but
He's thinking about his birth, year of birth now.
Yeah, it's yours, yours.
see, there was this one bowler I know who played for Canada. His name was some Anderson Cummings. I think he played for Canada in the 2007 World Cup, or the 2003 World Cup. I'm not sure, but player who plays for US and made his debut for.
Think about it. Okay, I'll throw another gentle loosener, okay, in terms of the second player. And here's our clue for the second Who Am I? And it gets interesting because look, there's an IPL twister in the second clue. So this man has taken 36 test wickets in Caribbean soil. He wore the number 27 in IPL and he featured in a Hindi movie in 2004. Now, Gurkirat, the Knicks, if you know it, zip it so people can win merchandise. Remember, viewers, you can only win merchandise if you get all three right, and the first person to comment wins it. And some brilliant merchandise. I mean, he's wearing one, and we've got another one which says, "Can you rock and roll that, please? I'm a flatline satisfied," and all of that shit. So great merchandise to win. The final, Who Am I? It is, of course, this man, right? And we can feature him. Now, or I should say, I played my last test against India. The former West Indies great Rohan Kanai is my uncle, and he has got Sachin Tendulkar out. I mean, LBW level. So let us know who this person is, and it's interesting to pick the. I don't think Gurkirat will get this guy. I mean, I think Nick's might, but definitely not Gurkirat.
One more clue is that I think I remember him taking an absolutely ridiculous cotton ball.
Oh
in
yes.
one of the
Oh
games.
yes. And the lights have gone
And I've
off
been against-
early in the morning.
That cotton ball.
I think.
I don't know if I'm right about the opposition, but he did take a ridiculous cotton ball.
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually flying.
True.
Yeah.
So Gurkirat, any guesses before we move along and end the show?
The first one I have a guess. I think it's Narsingh Dio Narain.
No, close but no cigar. No cigar in the morning. Okay,
Second
let's
one I
wrap
have.
because this is as dull as the 64.3 overs we saw India bowl, getting West Indies out for 150. If you guys need to recap the score, and if you guys just need any cricket dosage, cricket.com is your place. Subscribe right now. Please like and share this video. It's a goodbye, good day, good morning, good night. What do I say? Good evening to beautiful people out there who's watching this in South Africa time zones. I don't know, but subscribe, like, and share. Final words, guys, quickly.
Hopefully, a more entertaining day tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, next, what are your day two predictions quickly?
Jaiswal double.
Oh, love it. I'm saying Kohli double. And can you double that, Gurkirat? Speaking of doubles.
I hope for 100 for Jaiswal and Gill.
Okay, he's tapered it down, but look, let's end the show. It's been absolute dominance from India in Dominica. Let's see if they can wrap up the seedings in 2 days' time. Thanks for watching.